Beethoven's Opus 18 string quartets are some of his most foundational pieces of chamber music literature. Composed when he was only in his late 20s, these pieces are said to demonstrate the composer's utter mastery of the classical string quartet form, which had been developed before him by Haydn and Mozart. Consisting of 6 works in total, the Opus 18 quartets were composed between 1798 and 1800, while Beethoven was living in Vienna and working under the patronage of the Viennese aristocracy. They were published in 1801 on commission from Prince Joseph Maximilian Lobkowitz. While overall not as critically acclaimed as his Razumovsky quartets or late quartets, these pieces are cornerstones of the string quartet genre. Beethoven intentionally published these pieces in a set of 6 to emulate the common practice of Joseph Haydn. Opus 18 No. 5 in A major pays direct homage to Mozart. In fact, it is modeled directly from his K464 string quartet in the same key. Apparently, this was one of Beethoven's favorite Mozart compositions, and these two pieces have identical movement structures as well as several more explicit similarities. One of these can be seen in the opening bars of the first movement of each piece. Both begin by highlighting the same 3 ascending notes of the A major scale, A, B, then C sharp, and both mark them as staccato and piano. The direct reference Beethoven is making is plain to see. The first movement begins with a sharp, rousing sforzando statement, followed by a sweet, singing first violin melody, underpinned by soft moving chords from the middle voices and a beautiful pedal tone from the cello. This jarring change of moods is entirely characteristic of Beethoven and can be heard in many other places throughout the piece. The fast, exciting pace of the movement rarely lets up and carries us through the occasionally dark and brooding middle section, which often visits the relative minor of F sharp. This excitement gives way to the gentle, lilting feel of the second movement, a minuet. The theme meanders through all 4 voices and gently resolves at the first repeat. The movement has a couple of surprises in store, however. Near the end of the second repeat, the ensemble suddenly breaks into an extremely dark C-sharp minor passage, which culminates in 3 sharp, almost violent quarter notes, followed by an eerie bar of rest. This aggression is altogether shocking when contrasted with the lilting, gentle main theme, which returns immediately after this as if nothing had happened. Beethoven further defies expectations by heavily accenting the third beat during the trio section. The third movement is a theme in variations, again in keeping with the movement structure of the Mozart quartet which so influenced this piece. Beethoven chooses an exceptionally simple theme, little more than a D major scale which ascends and descends. The first variations introduce fluttering accompaniment lines from the middle voices, and then the lower voices trade the theme. This leads to the gorgeous, crystalline, chorale-like variation presented in the relative B minor, which leaves the listener in a state of quiet bliss. Beethoven then shatters this tranquility with the loud, rambunctious final variation, with a rhythmic bass line from the cello and shouted trills from the first violin. The excitement is intense, but Beethoven again brings the energy down suddenly and unexpectedly, and ends the movement with a tranquil, slow, and contemplative final passage. The last movement begins with the 4 voices chasing each other through a fast-moving theme, beginning with 3/8 notes. The frenetic motion of the first section gives way to the hushed entrance of the second theme, which sees all voices play slow-moving harmonies in rhythmic unison, a sharp contrast with the opening of the movement. The development takes the main theme far afield in key until the exciting recapitulation takes over. The energy of the piece builds once more until Beethoven leaves us with one final surprise, a gentle, peaceful ending, entirely unexpected from such an energetic movement.